Three overlapping themes inspired by courageous women leaders have shaped the thinking of Pakistan. Firstly, that education is the foundation beneath every other freedom. It is the route to income, independence, and public voice. It is an obligation rooted in our faith. Secondly, legal reform is critical to empower women, and that this must be followed by an enabling ecosystem, finance, financial literacy, mentorship, markets, and leadership opportunities. So after we equip women with knowledge, technical capability, and confidence, and remove the frictions, women can participate in our larger economies. This is essential for accelerating GDP growth, reducing systemic poverty, and fostering workplace innovation. When women fully enter the workforce, they unlock underutilized talent pools, creating massive ripple effects that improve living standards for entire communities. Third, in the modern world, digital public infrastructure. Trusted data exchange, digital identity, and interoperable payments that can convert women's legal rights into practical access. Digital public infrastructure gives them direct financial control. They get recognition within the economy as they go from invisible workers to documented economic actors. Interoperable payments connect women, freelancers, and entrepreneurs to customers, e-commerce platforms, and cross-border markets. Digital public infrastructure also accelerates innovation that benefits women existentially by dramatically lowering digital costs of inclusion. Women can apply remotely for education, healthcare, social protection, licenses, government documents, taking mobility, which is one of the biggest frictions of women inclusion, out of the equation. Digital citizen services reduce queues, eliminate discretionary gatekeepers, and demands for informal payments. As the Federal Minister for Information Technology and Telecom, under the leadership of the Honorable Prime Minister Mohammad Shehbaz Sharif, I seek technology as an enabling infrastructure to empower women. A connected device can bring a classroom to a girl whose school is far away. A secure digital account can place income directly under a woman's control. A secure and online marketplace can allow a home-based entrepreneur to sell beyond her street, her city, and beyond her country. Digital public reforms can bring women's evidence and experience into government decisions. But technology can be a double-edged sword. It can be used potentially to exclude. If a woman does not own a phone, cannot afford data, lacks digital ID, fears online harassment, or has never learned to use a platform safely, digitization can reproduce exclusion, that too at a greater speed. The question is not simply whether technology is available. The question is, available to whom? Controlled by whom, and designed by whom. Any digital voice must lead to institutional voice. Online consultation is valuable, but it cannot substitute for women's participation and representation in cabinets, parliaments, public institutions, and in corporate leadership. Pakistan's experience illustrates both the promise and the responsibility. Pakistan never lacked strong women. Our history is filled with women who served to shape our nation. Starting from Mohtarama Fatima Ali Jinnah, who stood beside the Qaid and mobilized an entire generation. Mohtarama Benazir Bhutto, the first female prime minister in the Muslim world. Mohtarama, the ex-first lady, who stood bravely in front of dictatorships and whenever the nation needed her. Mohtarama Maryam Nawaz, sitting here today at the chair, as the first female elected chief minister of the largest populated province in the country. Her exemplary leadership, which she will shed light on herself, is rooted in a development agenda which we can clearly see has citizen at its center. And that is what women leadership brings to you. Pakistani women today serve as judges, entrepreneurs, engineers, scientists, startup founders, professionals. They're excelling in every single aspect. But our responsibility is to ensure that they become the norm and not an exception. Excellencies, as the world moves towards technology in every field of life and work, Pakistan has developed a digital gender inclusion strategy, with the help of and support of UNESCO, our private sector, civil society, contributed to the national strategy on the technology-facilitated gender-based violence and introduced secure digital grievance system through our national IT boards. Through the ICT for Girls program, computer laboratories serve 110,000 young girls in Islamabad. Through national incubation centers, over 700 women-led startups have been incubated today. We're now opening a vertical women-led startup incubator standalone with women technology parks supporting and bringing down barriers of social inclusion. Through the Prime Minister's laptop scheme, which started when he was the chief minister, and also during our 2013 tenure under the leadership and premiership of Honorable Prime Minister Mohammad Nawaz Sharif, who started it in the federal for the first time. We've distributed over 1.2 million laptops till today across to the high merit students. Laptop is not just a device. It is a doorway to future. It is a gateway to the world. I'm just going to very briefly tell you a story of a young girl. Imagine a young girl sitting in one of the least developed cities of Punjab back in 2009-10. She receives a laptop in her college, intermediate school, and learns through that laptop about the top-rated university of the country, applies there, gets a scholarship, gets into the law program, comes to Lahore for her education at the Lahore University of Management Sciences, takes a gap year in her third year, goes back to her original village, opens a tech training institute, and till today has trained tens of thousands of young girls of that less developed area. That is the power of a laptop, a device, and technology. Ladies and gentlemen, this is what Access can do. It turns technology from something a girl observes into something she can command and she can generate value with for herself and for others. According to the GSMA, Pakistan recorded the largest improvement in digital gender inclusion, especially usage of mobile internet. In 2024, when I took office, we were at a 38% gender digital divide. In 2025, it came down to 25%. 2026 report shows that we're down to 8% of gender digital divide in mobile internet usage, which is the fastest closing gender digital divide in the world. Women's mobile internet adoption has increased from 33% to 45% over the last 2 years. But connectivity is the first layer. A real measure of success is whether women in rural district, whether women sitting in the farthest corner of this country can learn, can earn, receive payments, become entrepreneurs through the help of technology. I'm going to just narrate in the end another small anecdote. Last year when the holy month of Ramadan came and the federal government was to roll out the subsidy program, initially it used to happen through our state-owned retail store chain. But what it ended up in was long queues of women waiting outside in the heat for them to collect their rations, which were subsidized. Now we're talking about the lowest socioeconomic strata women of the country. I'm going to cut the long story short. The Prime Minister decided that it's not going to happen this way. There has to be a dignified manner to support the women of the country. And that's when he came up with the digital payments program and mandated the income support program and the whole subsidy program to be run through digital payments. In 1 month, the lowest socioeconomic strata of women of Pakistan created 800,000 plus digital wallets. They became members of digital economy, of the banked population. This year, another 900,000 women came on digital wallets. The government of Pakistan, with the help of the private sector under the leadership of the Honorable Prime Minister, distributed 10 million SIMs free of cost to women across the country, making sure that they become active members of digital economy. That is the structural shift that we're looking at, besides ad hoc programs for women that will naturally scale and mainstream women inclusion in our digital economies. And that is the power that technology brings to you. I would like to just say in the end that women cannot just be at the receiving end of technology. Today, with artificial intelligence at the core of every single sector, women need to be at the building ground. We have to have a seat on the table. Our experiences, our statistics cannot be left out of machine learning and AI algorithms, because that means exponential and systematic exclusion of our experiences. We have to be there, and that is what Pakistan aims. Every girl should have access to connectivity. Every woman should be able to obtain and control a secure digital identity and financial account.